Hi, here's another fun activity for family members to do with their kids while we're waiting. And I call this one Review Ball. And as a classroom teacher, my students really love this activity and it doesn't cost very much money. Hopefully, you already have the supplies around your house. Any kind of a rubber ball or plastic ball will work. You can start with any plain ball, a beach ball or a balloon, anything like that. So when I say a plain ball, I'm talking about those cheap balls that they sell in the bin at the discount stores. They're about 10 or 12 inches. You can get them really big, but they're usually about 10 to 12 inches. They're usually about $3. So a balloon will work if your kids aren't too rough, or a punch ball balloon if you happen to have one of those in a drawer left over from something. A beach ball will work. So dig around in your summer stuff. I bet you've got a beach ball somewhere. The only other thing you're going to need is a Sharpie pen. Sharpie works best on writing on these surfaces. You have to let it dry before you begin, though, or your kids are going to have Sharpie marker on them. So let it dry. The first thing that you're going to do is draw grids on the ball, and they don't have to match up. They can be weird shapes. I just do lots of different, I've done squiggle shapes, I've done circles all over the ball, I've done just a million different things just to make it creative. This one just happens to be just little grids, and the older the child, the smaller the grids can be. The younger kids probably need a bigger grid just for grasping. So this is a ball, and this one happens to be one that I used at an alternative school where kids lose their temper very easy if they don't know the answer to something. So frustration can bring about that anxiety that they're dealing with. So if you have a kid who gets frustrated really easy, this is a really good one to do. And it's where you put the whole math sentence on. So if you look in the middle there, the 7, the 6, and the 42. So if the child catches it and that's the spot where they have to answer, there's so many ways they could say this. They could say 7 times 6 is 42. They could say 6 times 7 is 42. They could say 42 divided by 7 is 6. They could say 42 divided by 6 is 7. And it's an easy way to help kids with frustration and still get to review. Because sometimes kids, that negative loop in their head, if they don't know the answer, will make it really hard for them. And you know your children best. So if they're easily frustrated and you need to review math facts, this is a great way to do it. If they aren't easily frustrated, you can do it the other way where you just write 8 times 8 equals blank, or 64 divided by 8 equals what. You can put fractions on there, decimals, and have them turn them into fractions. Fractions turn them into decimals. There's a lot of different things that you can do. So whatever you want to study, you can write the math sentences, you could do the math facts. My personal kids always love trivia questions on the ball. Like, what's the name of a city that almost every single state has that city in their state? Do, 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 do. Springfield. That's why The Simpsons chose Springfield, because almost everyone could relate to that city. You could put the ABCs on there. You could do shapes. You could do sight words. You could review questions on a book they've studied. So let's say they read Tom Sawyer, and you knew they were getting ready, they were going to take a test on Tom Sawyer or Romeo and Juliet. You could write review questions all over the ball and then have them answer those questions about the book that they read. And if you haven't read it yourself, I promise you, you can go online and Google, and there will be some kind of cheat sheet out there for you where you can put the questions that go with the book. Somebody somewhere has posted the easy version of the book so you could ask questions. You could do colors using other color markers if you happen to be like me and you love Sharpies and you have them in every single color, or anything that you would like to review. And by the way, back to the trivia questions, that's another one you can Google. and just Google trivia questions. And I think you could even say for young children, for older children, for adults, and trivia questions will pop up. So that can be a fun thing for you to do as a family. When you get tired of the games that you've got in your closet, this can be fun. So you toss the ball. So you might stand in a circle if you have more than two, or just stand across from each other if you have two. You catch the ball two-handed, and that's really important because wherever your right thumb lands is the question that you have to answer. So you're going to catch it two-handed. Wherever your right thumb lands, that's the one that you have to answer. Now, what if your child doesn't know their right from their left yet? So when I did this with kindergartners, a good deal of them didn't know their right from their left. And so what I did was, with permission from family members, I put a dot of red fingernail polish on their right thumb so that by the time the fingernail polish wore off, they remembered their right from their left. So when they caught it two-handed, they'd look down and see the red dot on their right thumb, and they knew that was the one they had to show to everybody and then say the answer. So I'd have them walk around the circle and show the shape or the letter that we were catching for that day, and they would show it to everyone and then say the letter out loud. So you could do that. You could put a stamp on their right hand. You could put a bandage on their right hand. You could put a sticker on their right hand. If they're really young, the sticker's not going to last very long, but it really won't take very long for them to get that muscle memory of which is their right hand and which is their left hand. They'll start to remember where the red dot was. So that'll be an easy thing for you, and when we come back from all of this, they will know their right from their left. So this is a great review and a fun physical activity that you can do. With the little ones, you can roll the ball instead of throwing, but they still catch it two-handed. You could draw the grids and use stickers of farm animals and have them name the farm animals or name the sound that the farm animals make. I know that's what my granddaughter is working on right now. Or colors, so she's learning colors. She's learning shapes, so you could put shapes on the ball, and if you use stickers, you can peel them off and change it up frequently as their skills grow. So once they know all their colors, then you can move on to something else. For older kids, I just want you to know you can erase the ball with fingernail polish remover, and then I'd wash it off with soap and water. This is how I did it, and then just dry it off, let it dry really good, and then you can write all over it again with a Sharpie and put different questions on it. So we might not be getting out for a while to get new balls, so you can use them over and over again. I hope this was a fun idea for you and something that you might think about. I hope you've got some playground type balls laying around your house, or balloons or beach balls that you can use for this. I promise you the kids will really like it. Thanks for listening. Bye.